Oh, didn't see you there. Hi, today in the new episode of History Brunch, we will be introducing a new special guest, as you may all know, as King George III. He was not only the King of Great Britain, but he was also the very famous and very infamous person in the 13th century. Hi, welcome back to the History Brunch. And next to me is the famous King George III. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very excited. It's my first time being on national television, so I'm really happy for that. Yeah.
And are you excited to be on the show?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be on the show. Don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm only expecting the best.
So, is it okay for me to ask you a couple questions?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. So, hi, welcome back to the studio. And today, we'll be asking King George a couple more questions. And for today's segment, we will be talking about the hot issues. So, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So, during the time of your ruling over the colonies, if you were to change how the parliament was ran, do you think the 13 colonies would still be ran under the Great Britain's control?
Well, if you made the parliament fair to the people of the colonies, it would still be under the control of the British Empire. By not agreeing to what the colonies wanted and not trying to compromise, we lost something that was very important to our economy. Even though we didn't know the outcome and I didn't really like the colonies much at that time, we only taxed them with acts such as the Sugar Acts and the Stamp Act because we needed money and we couldn't afford to lose any more. Overall, we didn't mean to harm them originally, but if the Parliament and I knew this would be the outcome, then we would have pursued them differently. So to answer your question, if we didn't ruin our chances, yes, they could still be part of our empire today.
So, what was your initial reaction upon reading the olive branch petition that moderates from the colonies that were sent?
Well, I was really frustrated when reading another letter from the colonies that consisted of the same request from before. The colonies were never faithful. They have never listened to anything the Parliament or I, the King, at that time ever requested of them. Therefore, why would I listen to them when they don't listen to people in control of them? What we only wanted to do was simply tax them because we needed money to pay for the damages that they caused. Overall, simple acts like the Tea Act was really not that hard to follow, yet they wanted to act like children, dress like Native Americans, spill tons of tea, and waste hundreds of thousands of dollars. Once again, this wasn't even for the colonies, but for the British East India Company that needed our help at the time.
So, if you were king again, would you steer the parliament in a different direction?
Even though I would sign off on many laws and acts passed by the parliament, I, as the king, never had the power or authority to pass those laws or contribute to that. To add on, I wasn't also aware of how the people of the colonies felt and how they would be affected because of what the parliament had in mind. So overall, even though I was king, I wasn't in any position to do any of that. But if I was king again, I wouldn't want the parliament to consist of people like that.
So, what were your thoughts on the parliament during your rule?
Well, my thoughts on the parliament now are very different than from before. Before, the parliament were the ones that made all the acts while I just signed them off, and all I thought about was how they had the final say. Nevertheless, at that time, we were on the same page about the colonies and what had to be done for our empire and our future. Although looking at them now, I wouldn't be so proud of what was done, and once again, I would definitely change that.
So, what were your thoughts when reading and hearing that the people of the colonies were British loyal subjects?
So at that time, when hearing and reading of what the people in the colonies were doing, it really made me very angry because they couldn't be British loyal subjects like that. When seeing the way that they reacted, like mentioned before during the Tea Act, was not something that an actual British subject would do at all. They were behaving like absolute children, and at that point, I just wanted to punish them because there was no way that they fit under the category of a British loyal subject.
Okay, so this concludes our episode for today for the History Brunch. So I would like everyone to give a round of applause to King George III. And I would also like to say, don't forget to send a picture and also putting hashtag History Brunch with all of your families watching the show, and don't forget to put hashtag brunchies. And this concludes the show, and I'll see you next week. Well, we will be interviewing Alexander Holmes.
Before we conclude this episode, let's thank the special brunchies of the week. At DCI Girl, who tweeted, "Love today's episode of History Brunch. By far the best. Can't wait for next week's episode." Up next from Park Jimin, who sent us a meme stating, "Me waiting for History Brunch to come on." And lastly, from our number one fan, Jennifer Park, who tweeted me arguing why History Brunch is the best talk show. Wendy Williams, never heard of her. Thank you once again for tuning in, and see you all next week.